Hello, and welcome to Hendricks Regional Health Stadium on the campus of Avon High School. My name is Lec Zorn, and I'll be bringing you all the action as your Avon Orioles challenge the Zionsville Eagles here in Week 8 of the Indiana high school football season. Well, last night, your Orioles, ranked 9th in the state here in Class 6A, had a big road win up at Zionsville by a score of 41-0, and now we're getting a look at the future of the programs in this morning's JV game. So right now, we're letting the last few seconds run off of the pregame clock, and then we'll have the opening kickoff momentarily after that. So anyway, last night was a mixed night for the Hendricks County teams, with Avon getting the big win, like I said, over Fishers. And in addition, Brownsburg also got a win to move up to a 6-1. They beat Noblesville, ironically, by a similar score, 41-10 in that game. In addition, Danville, the number 3 team in Class 3A, got a big win over Western Boone, the number 7 team in Class 2A. Danville now at 8-0, trying to finish the regular season undefeated and make a run at the state championship. Plainfield survived a shootout last night down at Whiteland by a score of 50-47, and then at that we will pause for the national anthem. Well, thank you to Avon for that lovely rendition of the national anthem. And now we're about set for the opening kickoff here. So set to kick off for your Orioles, we have Mason Miller. He's also the team's starting quarterback here on the JV side of things. So now, Miller on the kickoff from the 40. It's fielded at about the 12, right up to the 20, 25. And he stopped around the 27. So, on the return there for Zionsville, that was Harmon Kyle. He is a sophomore, 5'8", 130. And now Zionsville will be starting off the game on offense. Also in Hendricks County action last night, Tri-West got its second consecutive win after the 1-5 start. They beat Crawfordsville easily, 42-12. And finally, rounding out the county action, Cascade, in a game that I commentated, in a blunder of errors, lost to Edgewood 40-35, a game that each team seemed to be trying to give to the other. And in the end, it was Cascade who just made one more blunder than did Westfield. But anyway, first play of the game, Plainfield made one more blunder than did Edgewood. But anyway, first play of the game, a Rush over to the left side by Cameron Sims for Zionsville. Zionsville, on the varsity side, won the sectional last year, and which was the first sectional in since the glorious era of Larry McWhorter, who coached the Eagles for 17 years, won the state championship in their class back in 1997, then left to build a program from scratch at Covenant Christian here on the over on the west side of Indianapolis, just a few miles east of here. So now penalty against the Eagles. And now the screen pass is deflected and falls to the ground incomplete. I did not catch what the penalty was. Sorry about that. But anyway, 9:30 to go here in the first quarter at Avon in this JV game. It's a beautiful early October morning here in Avon. Currently a temperature of 70 degrees. Supposed to have a high of 82. So now the Eagles line up 2nd and 24 on the 14. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 1 running back. And now it's an incomplete pass there by the intended receiver was Jacob Jarabek. I think that Jarabek, there's a little bit miscommunication on where the ball was going to be thrown to. Because he looked like he was expecting it to be on the other side of his body. That brings up 3rd and 24 on the 14. 9:25 to go here in the first quarter. So 2 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left, 1 running back. Now is a handoff there. And he takes it over the left side, but he's brought down for a loss. That was Jarabek. He tried to find some room on the left side. There was nothing at all. So outstanding defense by the Orioles to start off the game here. They hold Zionsville not only to 3 and out, but to a net loss of about 5 yards. And then, of course, Zionsville also hurt itself with that penalty. So now back deep to receive the punt for Avon. We have Tyler Anderson. He's a sophomore, 5'8". 140, excuse me. He's standing at the Avon 38, so Orioles figure to get the ball in excellent field position. And it's a low snap, and it's almost blocked. It bounces at the 29, and it rolls out of bounds around the 30. So Avon will indeed start off with outstanding field position. It was the punter had a low snap, and he barely got it off to avoid the block. Tell you, last night out at Cascade in Clayton, I commentated one of the oddest plays I've ever commentated. Avon was trailing Edgewood 40-28 in the final minutes, and the Edgewood was going for a punt near their end zone, and there was the punter bobbled the snap, and then when he reached down to pick it up, his knee touched the ground, and he was ruled down at the 2, setting up an easy Cascade score. And then Cascade got the ball back, but threw an interception in the final seconds to seal the Edgewood win. So now to start off the game, we have a rush up the middle there by Jarrett Stephen, he was the focal point of the freshman team last year. Now he's the focal point of the JV team this year. Outstanding young running back, 5'10", 175, would be starting for varsity for a lot of the teams in the state. Avon being a very deep 6A team, he's JV here, but, he's going to be a big star and probably, go to play for a major Division I college here in a few years. So now hand off Steven again. He breaks tackle at the line, then goes up to his right, gets a couple of yards. There is a flag, a late flag, stopping the clock with 7:32 to go here in the first quarter at Avon. Great facility here. This is today when I came here to the stadium, to the school, excuse me, and it's going to be against the Orioles. I did not catch what the call was. But when I arrived here at Avon, at the school today, I went to the usual parking lot, and there was not a single parking spot available, and there were even a few people that seemed to be illegally parked, like along the edge of the parking lot. So then I went over to an alternate lot, and I did find a space, thankfully, in time to get my gear set up. So now, and now there's a fumble. And I think Zionsville has it. Yes, they do. Yes, there's a miscommunication. It looked to me like Miller faked the handoff to one running back and then gave it to a wide receiver who was sweeping across the field. And somehow there was just a little bit of somehow the ball slipped out, and Zionsville was right on top of it. So after a very unproductive opening drive on offense, Zionsville gets a second chance, and without having to play from behind, which is especially a break because Avon started that drive at the Zionsville 30. So now three receivers to the right for the Eagles, one to the left. Handoff there, and he's got something. He's got a first down up to the 45, 50, 45, one man to beat, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, and he steps out of bounds. He was trying to keep his balance, and he finally, his left foot stepped out of bounds around the 18 or so. So that'll be a gain of about 50 yards there by Gus Baumgartner. So now the Eagles take over. Now fake the handoff, and he throws it to the end zone, and it is caught for the touchdown. That was Brody Whitesell there on the reception. Wow, great size, 6'5", 180, great optimal wide receiver size. And so Zionsville opens the scoring with 6:50 to go here in the first quarter. Well, I did not see that coming after the way the Eagles were completely shut out on their first drive. That was like night and day. So obviously a big confidence boost for this offense, and the extra point is up and good. So with 6:50 to go here in the first quarter in this JV game, Zionsville surprisingly has taken a 7-0 lead over Avon. So Brody Whitesell, that's a name I will remember. And 6'5", 180, that's a heck of a size for a wide receiver. So certainly that's somebody I will be watching for on the varsity team in the next couple of years. I have not commentated any Zionsville games this year at any level. This is the first. Last year I did commentate them in one of the best games I've ever commentated, their thriller win at Plainfield for the sectional championship. I was Plainfield's commentator for that game, so it was a heartbreak, from my perspective. But I felt good for the Eagles because I know that they went through a phase where they, after winning the last of their two state championships back in 1996, they really went through a phase where they were becoming, at least they were perceived as a mediocre program. And truth be told, I think they're a well above average program. It's just playing in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, the second best conference in the state. They looked mediocre just because of the competition they were pitted against. In fact, actually, Zionsville's now the only Class 5A school in that conference, amid a bunch of 6A schools. And as it is, Zionsville is still 4-4 on the season, so they're not bad at all. And playing against those heavyweights can really toughen them up from the tournament. So now, as the kickoff goes, it's a very high, fairly short kick, fielded at about the 26, brought over to the 30, 35. He's got a hole, 40, and he's brought down just short of the 45. So that was a nice return there by Avon. There, that was Luke Shayotovich. No, I'm sorry, Joseph Sargent. There's two number 19s for Avon. I was going to say Shayotovich is a senior. That's Joseph Sargent. He's a 6', 140-pound defensive back here for the Orioles. So 6:40 to go. Avon trying to get those points back. Well, it's rare that you see the team's first two possessions be as radically different as Zionsville's were in this game. So now Avon lining up Steven, the running back, three receivers to the right, one to the left. Steven gets it, and he takes it forward, breaks 3 or 4 tackles, gets close to the first down, picking up about 8 yards. Jarrett Stephen really, a couple of the games that I commentated last year for the freshman games for Avon, he really put on a show. I'm really going to be watching that young man closely over the next couple of years. And then beyond that, as he goes on to college. So now the Orioles line up. They have Peyton Garnett and Riley Browder to the left. And I believe that's to the right, excuse me. And now Steven gets the handoff, and I think he might get forward progress just out to the first down marker. I think he's going to be a yard short. They were ready for him that time, but you have to really, when you're up against a running back like Steven, sometimes you need 3 or 4 guys to bring him down. Sometimes that's not enough, as in the case with Austin Bowling of Lawrenceburg last year when I commentated him in that regional game against Danville. So now we've got Cohen Morrell to the left, Peyton Garrett to the right, Steven the running back, Miller in shotgun, and hands off to Steven. He's got the first down and several more up to about the 41 or 42. So Avon not getting their heads down after giving up those points, trying to get them right back. So Steven picks up another first down there. 5:13 to go and counting here in the first quarter. So now Morrell to the right, Garrett and Browder to the left. Miller in shotgun, Steven the running back. Takes the snap, it's high, but he gets it over to Steven, who gets past the 40 up to about the 37, and we do have a flag. And the clock stops with 4:50 to go here in the first quarter, and it is holding against the Orioles, so the gain by Steven will be coming back. Well, I'll tell you, as I told you Monday when I commentated the game here against Westfield, and that big win by the Orioles, Avon will begin sectional play 2 weeks from next Friday. So after the regular season finale next week against Noblesville right here at Avon, they will have 2 weeks off, and then they will go on the road to play Southport, a game that they should win. So now lining up, they got Browder and Garrett to the left, another receiver to the right. And now Browder gets the handoff, and he goes over all the way to the right side, but he has nothing, and he's brought down right around the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 2nd and 20 for the Orioles, 4:26 to go and counting here in the first quarter in this JV game. So now the Orioles go to huddle. Is this the last JV game of the season? Okay. This is the last JV home game of the season. I've really been enjoying bringing these broadcasts to you. Of course, all of the varsity games will, through the playoffs, will continue to air right here on audiosportsonline.com. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now quarterback runs over to the right. He's got some room past the 45, and he's knocked out of bounds around the 43 or 44. He's going to be far short of the first down, though. Pickup of about 8 there. So Mason Miller doing a good job, getting, a fair chunk of the yardage they need for the first down, but still have about 12 to go. However, they most likely Avon would go for it if it came to a 4th down situation here. They are in Zionsville territory at the 44. I've never actually, despite all the, dozen or so Avon varsity and freshman football games I've done over the last couple of years, I've still never done an Avon. I'll hold that thought. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Miller takes the ball. He throws down the right side, and he's got a completion there. He might have the first down. It's going to be within a yard or so either way. I believe that was Morrell there on – I'm trying to see his – that looks like it was Morrell there on the reception. But, yeah, I've done a lot of over the last 2 or 3 years, I've done a lot of maybe 12, 15 Avon junior varsity and freshman football games. Never commentated an Avon varsity football game yet. I hope to someday. This year I've been dividing the varsity games between Cascade and Plainfield. So now Garrett to the left, Browder to the right, and we have a timeout here with 3:32 to go here in the first quarter at Avon. So with that, we will take a short pause for some words from our sponsors, Zionsville leading Avon 7-0 here on AudioSportsOnline.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They are conveniently located at 4325, that's 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372, that's 317-243-2372, and are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. That's reynoldsbodyshop.com. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to resume play following a timeout by Avon, who are at 4th and 1 now. They worked their way up from 2nd and 20. If I were a betting man, I would bet that they're going to hand off to Steven here to get the first down, but let's see. No, Miller gets a screen pass. It is complete. He's got the first, and he's up to about the 26 or 27. We'll see, what kind of forward progress they give him. But that was a reception there by Sean Lewis, a 6'3", 195-pound junior for the Orioles. So the clock stops to move the chains with 3:24. They mark it at the 27. So a nice job there because Lewis is a tight end, not a guy who they're expecting to receive a lot of passes. So now Garrett and Browder to the left, Morrell to the right. Miller in shotgun, Steven, the running back, standing to Miller's immediate left. Miller takes it, hands off to Steven. He gets a hole up in the middle. He's got the first down up to about the 16. So 2:54 to go here in the first quarter. Zionsville has a 7-0 lead. When Zionsville scored, Zionsville scored easily on their second possession. Now Avon has been very methodical in this drive. They got Morrell lined up to the left, and Browder and Garrett to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Miller takes the snap. He looks into the end zone. He throws to Morrell, and it's overthrown. So that will bring up 2nd and 10 for the Orioles. Zionsville was thoroughly dominated to a 3-and-out on their first possession, then played like world beaters on their second possession to take the lead. Now Avon trying to tie it up here or take the lead with a touchdown and a 2. So now we got Garrett and Browder to the left, Morrell to the right, Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Steven. He gets past the 15 and is up just shy of the 10. So that'll bring up 3rd and short for the Orioles with 2:15 to go and counting here in the first quarter at Avon, the last home JV game of the season. I'm really going to miss coming out here. I'm sure I probably will be doing quite a few basketball games here this season as I did last season. I just found, I looked up the other day to see where the Hendricks County basketball tournament is going to be this season. I was, I'm sure Avon, would be a great host. They probably have hosted it before, but when I wasn't commentating it. But it's going to be at Danville again this year. So now handoff to Steven. He breaks the tackle at the 10, gets past the 5, and he's got the first down, so it will be 1st and goal for Avon. 1:34 to go here in the first quarter. The Orioles knocking on the door of tying this game, and they're marking it at the 3. Yeah, the Hendricks County basketball tournament is one of my absolute mega favorite sporting events of the year. So a 5-day, 14-game bonanza for both the boys and the girls. So now, hand off to Steven again, and he plows toward the end zone. Let's see if he got in. I think he's maybe about a foot short, but let's see. Yeah, oh wow, they're marking him literally about 3 inches short of the end zone. So very well could have a rush by Stevens here, but maybe Miller will try to catch the Eagles off guard again, as he did with that pass to Lewis on 4th and 1 earlier on this drive. So now Morrell to the left, Browder and Garrett to the right, and now it's quarterback sneak by Miller, and he's got it. So 33 seconds to go here in the in the first quarter at Avon, and the Orioles are an extra point away from tying it there on a 1-yard rush by quarterback Mason Miller. Steven was, I think it's the first snap all game that Miller's taken under center. Steven was standing several yards behind. So now the Orioles on the extra point. No, they're going for the 2, so they're not content to tie. They want to take the lead here. So Morrell to the left, Garrett and Browder to the right, and it's a bullet pass, and it's caught for the 2-point conversion. Who was that? That was Riley Browder there. So your Orioles take the lead here with 32 seconds to go in the first quarter at Avon. 8-7 your score, Avon over Zionsville. So a very exciting start to this game here. And now we'll see if Zionsville has another outstanding drive like their second, or if the Orioles' defense will dominate the way they did on Zionsville's first possession of the game. So, like I always say, and with only a slight exaggeration, every time I'm here at Avon, there are at least 3 other events going on. But, apparently there's some major events going on because of the difficulty I had finding a parking spot today. So it's great to see that Avon is such a hub for the high school sports action here in central Indiana. Just outstanding facilities here. And they give you the royal treatment in the press box. They have a great massive soda here in the refrigerator, which is especially good since I'm getting very hot here with the sun. And now it's a squib kick that goes takes several bounces, goes all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Yeah, you never know what kind of bounce you're going to get. What other events are going on here at that school today?
I believe soccer. Maybe tennis, I'm not sure.
Okay. I know the other day, I commentated the other night when I was on the air that there was soccer going on at the adjacent soccer field here, but I later found out that was actually the soccer sectionals. So anyway, so now 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And now hand off there, and they're right on top of him. They crush him for a loss. Now that's the Avon defense we saw in the first drive. 23 seconds left. Zionsville does not have to run another play here in the quarter. And by the way, the quarterback for Zionsville, Cole Wiseman. Forgot to mention his name earlier. So now handoff there, and this time he's got a decent gain there. That is number 99. Part of the charm of high school ball, you see guys who aren't on the roster. That guy's not on the roster, so I will call him 99. And that's and that's the end of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play here at Avon, it's been an up and down game, but your Orioles have gotten the better of it. They lead Zionsville 8-7 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954 with 8 convenient locations around the greater Indianapolis area, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service in floral design or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. The McNamara Florist Avon store is located at 9655, that's 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and can be reached at 317-579-7900, that's 317-579-7900. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to start the second half with your Avon Orioles on top of the Zionsville Eagles by a score of 8-7 in junior varsity football action. Avon has the ball 3rd and 6 at their own 22, coming off of Avon's first, and so far only score of the game. So now the quarterback, keeper, takes it up to the 25, 30. He's got the first down, and he slides around the 32. So that was nice awareness there by Wiseman. He's the quarterback for Zionsville. Also threw a touchdown pass there in the first quarter from 21 yards out. So 1st and 10 for Zionsville now at the 33. Fakes the handoff. Screen pass. It is caught. And he breaks through a couple of tackles, spins around, and he falls down after picking up about 5 yards there. So that was a nice second and third effort there. I believe that was Kyle Harmon there on the reception for Zionsville. He is also a sophomore. So Zionsville's got some young guns here who's showing a lot of promise for the future as they promise to stay competitive there in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. So now, trying to avoid the sack, and he gets rid of it. And actually threw it there to Harmon, and Wiseman threw to Harmon, and nearly had a reception. He was really trying to make something out of nothing there. So that's 3rd and 4 now at the 39 with 9:14 to go. But I'll tell you, though, it's appropriate that I'm referring to that Zionsville player as number 99, the one who's not on the roster, because, hold that thought till you get, more dead space here. So now the Eagles with 3 receivers to the right, and now I'm not sure what the referee is moving the ball to a different hash mark. So 3rd and 4 at the 39, 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 1 running back. Wiseman in shotgun. High snap, but he gets it. Hands off, breaks a tackle, but then he runs into a brick wall of defenders, and he was brought down around the line of scrimmage. So that'll bring up 4th and about 4, and the Eagles send their punting unit out onto the field. But, it's appropriate I'm referring to that guy as 99 because, if you listen to my commentary, I'll wait till the change of possession, so I'll have time to tell the story. So now it's a high punt, fair catch taken at about the 32. So, yeah, that was a good job covering the punt there. But I believe that was Tyler Anderson there by Avon. But anyway, Avon will take over, trying to add on to their 1-point lead here. And the ball spotted at the 31. The ball spotted at the 31. But anyway, so I get a kick out of referring to this guy by 99 because the rock music group Toto, who people of my generation, I'm 46 years old, people of my generation tend to remember. Most people of other generations probably don't. But they actually had a hit single called 99, and that was actually the name of a girl. So, and it was about some kind of a futuristic society where people were named by numbers. So, anyway, that's what it reminded me of. So, Steven starts off the drive with a rush of about 3 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd and 7 for the Orioles with 8:07 to go here in the second quarter at Avon. So now Garrett and Browder line up to the left, Morrell to the right. Miller in shotgun. Hands to Steven, who he's got the first down and more up to about the 43. Jarrett Steven, I think he's going to end up being one of the top 5 or 6 running backs I've ever commentated in my career so far. This is my 6th year of commentary. So 1st and 10 for Avon at their own 43. Now they line up with Morrell to the left, Browder and Garrett to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Hand off to Steven. He breaks past the 45-50. He's got some room on the left side, 45, and he's up to about the 40. So Avon on the move here, trying to add on to their lead. And, if they were to get another touchdown and a successful two-point conversion, they would have a two-possession lead. And, in these JV games where generally the offenses aren't quite as good, and where you only have a 40-minute as opposed to when you only have a 40-minute as opposed to 48-minute game, that really puts you in the advantage. So now Morrell to the left, Steven and Browder to the right. Miller in shotgun, hands off to Steven again. He breaks through the middle, past the 35, almost to the 30, so he's going to be close to another first down. So as usual, Jarrett Steven, the go-to guy on offense for Avon. 6:46 to go and counting here in the second quarter now. Avon leading 8-7. Each team has scored a touchdown. However, the difference in the score is that Avon made it two-point conversion. Zionsville only one. So now Garrett to the left, Morrell and Browder to the right, Miller in shotgun, Steven the running back, standing to the left of Miller. Snap, hand off to Steven. He's got the first down and gets about 3 more. Spun around and fell backward up to about the 26 or 27 there. So the clock will stop to move the chains with 6:12 to go here in the second quarter. And Avon does get the ball first to start the second half. We have about, I'll hold that thought. So now we've got Morrell and Browder lined up to the right and 2 receivers to the left. Takes the handoff. Now Miller takes it himself. He's got room on the left side past the 25, spins around. He dives and lands right around the 20. So that'll bring up 3rd and short for the Orioles with 5:37 to go and counting. But anyway, we've got, let's see, got somewhere in the neighborhood of 100 Avon fans here and about 50 Zionsville fans who made the trip. I guess it's about half an hour. I'll tell you, it's a heck of a lot easier to travel here from Zionsville on Saturday morning than it is on Friday, late Friday afternoon, early Friday evening. Got it. So now hand off there to Steven. He breaks through a couple of tackles and he gets up far more than the first down, up to about the 10. So the Orioles knocking on the door of padding on their lead here. But, I've been commentating long enough now. This is my 6th season that, I have it memorized as to, depending on where the location is, what time of day I have to leave to get there comfortably, without having, without heavy risk of getting stuck in traffic. So now we've got Morrell to the left, Browder and Garrett to the right, Steven the running back, Miller in shotgun. 4:44 to go and counting here. Hand off to Steven. He's past the 10, up past the 5, and he's still plows forward up to about the 1 or 2. Jarrett Steven showing a lot of toughness. He's not a huge guy at 5'10", 175, but he just runs so hard and has such great speed. I mean, he really is the real deal there for the Orioles. So it's now 2nd and goal with 4:18 to go and counting here in the second quarter at Avon. So now Morrell lines up to the left, Browder and Garrett to the right, Miller in shotgun, Steven the running back. Takes the snap, gives it to Steven. They're on top of him that time, though, but he still stays up and falls forward with his right arm extended, but I think he's going to, maybe, they might mark him down forward progress at the 1. Well, yeah, it looks like they're going to, well, because they actually hit him, I think, about a yard behind the line, and he, pressed very hard forward, and like I said, when he fell, he stretched out the right arm trying to break the plane. Didn't quite do it, but he gave it a heck of an effort, so bringing up 3rd and goal now at about the 1. So now, hand off to Steven again, and this time he's into the end zone for the touchdown. So Jarrett Steven with his first score of the game, coming with 3:24 to go here in the second quarter. Now the big question is, what will the Orioles do for the conversion? Will they be content for the take the easy one and get the 8-point lead, or will they go for the kill by going for the 2 as they did the first time, which, if good, would give them a 16-7 lead, so meaning Zionsville would be 2 points down. And keep in mind, Avon does get the ball first to start the second half. So now, yeah, they are going for the 2. Eye of the Tiger here for the Orioles. So Miller takes it, fakes the handoff to Steven. He's got plenty of time. He rolls to his right, and now he's swarmed, and he's going to try to get right. No, they bring him down for the sack. So outstanding defense there on that play by the Eagles. The 2-point conversion failed, so your score 14-7. So it's basically the same effect as had Avon gone for the 1-point conversion twice and made it. And speaking of which, one story I've been telling a lot since last Monday when I commentated that Orioles freshman game. They have a place kicker who's a girl, Sam Miller, and she was 5 for 5 on extra points there in that game. And I'll tell you, I've seen a heck of a lot of kickers, varsity boy kickers, miss extra points this year. So it'll be interesting to watch the progress of that young lady over these next 3 years. Certainly, it was she did a great job on Monday night. It was the first time I've ever seen her. So I certainly wish her the best as she continues to play for the Orioles. Oh, apparently there's a penalty, so now they're getting so now the handoff to Steven, but they're ready for him, and they stop him at about the 1. So I didn't see the flag there, but they did get to replay the down, so they replay the 2-point conversion. So it's still 14-7 here, 3:24 to go. .10:40 your time of day here. Well, flag back to full mast here at Avon. Last night when I was at Cascade, this is, really it's an emotional story. I mean, during the national anthem, I was looking for the flag so I could stand and face it, and I couldn't find it, and then I finally realized it was because it was at half mast. And so, anyway, certainly a lot of reminders lately. I'll hold that thought, but anyway, now Miller on the kickoff. It lands at about the 22. Field on a few bounces, and so it's recovered there at about the 19. That was Jarabek there. Yeah, it's so many reminders of our mortality. You had the massacre in Las Vegas there on Sunday. Then Tom Petty died on Monday, and then so I don't remember his name. He was a comedian, died yesterday. Man. Of course, me mentioning that I'm a classic rock fan, we've had a lot of losses of my favorite musicians just in the last couple of years. So 2 receivers to each side for the Eagles now, trying to get something going, trying to tie the game here in the first half to avoid Avon having a chance for a 2-possession lead to start off the second half. And now the quarterback scrambling, and he's got a man open downfield. He's got the catch. Wow. That was great perseverance there by Wiseman. And, yeah, he managed to, he scrambled for a long time, finally managed to find Whitesell, who scored the touchdown earlier, wide open downfield, and he picks up about 30 yards there, so it'll be 1st and 10 at the 50. So the Eagles are in business now. So Wiseman, now he's got a man. And it's caught again there. So that was Dom Vecchiarella for the Eagles. So 2 consecutive passes of more than 20 yards. So Zionsville really been erratic on offense today. They've either been shut down or they've been awesome. Right now they're awesome, and with 2:58 to go, they have the ball 1st and 10 at the Avon 28. So Wiseman now fakes the pass. He rolls to his right. Now goes over to his left and, breaks a couple of tackles. And I think will get forward progress out for a gain of about 1. So I'm really impressed by the perseverance there of Wiseman. He's not a big guy, not quite quarterback size at 5'11", 170, but he really just, he reminds me of a little bit of Fran Tarkenton in that he just scrambles relentlessly looking for an opportunity. So 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff now to Gus Baumgartner, and he gets forward for just about 1 or 2. So it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Eagles. I won't go as far as to say this is a critical first down for Zionsville, but certainly, they don't. Avon still has 2 timeouts, and the kind of offense they have, if Avon gets the ball back soon, they have plenty of time to do something. And like I said, they do get the ball first to start the half. But now then a pass there on a slant by Whitesell was dropped there, so it'll bring up 4th and 7 for the Eagles. So, like I said, Avon does get the ball first to start the second half. So now Avon going for a field goal here. This would be a 41-yarder there, attempt by number 91, who's not on the roster either. And it's going to be very close. Well, he got it. I don't think it would have been good for him from a yard further back, but he did get it, so that's a great job there by number 91. And, hopefully he will move up the ladder and get his name on the roster someday soon. But, certainly that was a great kick there. Probably the longest JV kick I've ever seen made. And I'll tell you, this year, I have seen so many. I've seen so many, bad kickers, and I've seen teams that have a hard time getting a kickoff past the 30. Teams that go for 2 on every touchdown, or for lack of a good kicker, or maybe go for the extra points, but miss a third of them or at least a fourth of them. So good kickers are really. They're really fairly sparse. So like I always say to young people, you want to play football, become a good kicker, and you'll have a lot of opportunities, and girls included, as we saw with Sam Miller there last Monday. And like I said, one thing I've learned, kicking, being a successful kicker, leg strength is a factor, of course, but technique is a bigger factor than leg strength. So now the kickoff fielded, and now it's a touchback there. But yeah, definitely. I haven't seen many varsity kickers who can hit a 40-yarder, let alone JV kickers. And of course, I know a couple of glowing exceptions are the Hagee brothers out at Plainfield, Morgan and John, both of whom now play at Ball State. Morgan a junior, John a freshman. And Morgan is already one of the top college football players in the country. I hope that he will make the NFL. He would be a rookie 2 years from now. I'm sure he would always stand for the national anthem, too. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller, screen pass there. And it's caught, but he trips. Well, he might have had a few yards, but that was Jarrett Stephen there on the reception. His first reception, I believe, of the game. So it goes for a 1-yard loss. So 1:14 to go and counting here in the quarter. Avon with 2 timeouts. Since they do get the ball first to start the second half, and they have this 4-point lead, it'll be interesting to see how hard they try to score here. But anyway, so we got now 2 receivers to each side. Stephen, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Now handoff to Browder. Goes up to the 20, 25. He brought down just shy of the 30. So it'll be up 3rd and short with 48 seconds to go. Avon does have 2 timeouts, but they don't seem like they're going to use them. And Zionsville actually has all 3 timeouts and aren't using them either. Finally, we do have a timeout by Avon. And that's really a bizarre strategy because they let about 12 seconds, maybe a little more, run off the clock there before taking the timeout. But anyway, 3rd and 1 at the Avon 29 when we come back here. It's been a fast-paced game so far here. Very exciting. You know, a lot of times JV games really they have the feel of intra-squad scrimmages, but you get to some of these bigger schools, and you have a lot of guys who really are varsity quality players who would be varsity players on a lot of teams in the league. You know, in fact, sometimes a vast majority of the team, sometimes a lot of these JV guys at the bigger schools would be varsity guys on a vast majority of the varsity teams in the state. So, you know, and the games sometimes are very exciting, and fans who come out really get their money's worth. So now the Orioles get back information. They have Morrell and Browder. Okay, let's see how they're lining up here. So they've got Browder and Garrett lining up to the right, Morrell to the left, Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. 3rd and 1 at the 29, 36 seconds to go. Avon leading 14-10. And now fakes the handoff, and Miller takes it himself. He's going to have the first easily, but not much more. And he does get out of bounds around the 36. So play consumes 9 seconds, 27 seconds to go now. Nice run by Mason Miller. And if nothing else, that should guarantee that Zionsville will not get the ball back for the remainder of the half. Orioles still with one timeout left. The break huddle. So Browder, Garrett, and Tyler Anderson line up to the left, Morrell to the right, Steven the running back, Miller in shotgun. Takes the snap, looks downfield, he throws, and he's got a catch there by Anderson, but it's up the middle, and he only gains about 4 yards, so Avon, they're going to have to take their timeout, and they do with 18 seconds to go. So that was not a very productive play for the Orioles. The ball, when we return to play, will be at the 42, 2nd and 6, 18 seconds to go. Avon on top, 14-10 here on audiosportsonline.com. Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcasts. Dr. Timothy Greer, DDS, and Dr. Christopher Lefebvre have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center area just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday with early morning hours available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 317-272-8100. That's 317-272-8100. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouthguards to Avon High School athletes every year for the last 16 years. Parents can contact our office if interested in one for their high school athlete. The athletes love them. Well, back here at Avon, we're about to resume play. 2nd and 6 for Avon at their own 42. 18 seconds to go. Now Mason Miller takes the... and he's going to run out of bounds to stop the clock. He gets out of bounds around the 50. He does have the first down with 11 seconds to go. So... Orioles still with a small chance here to add to their lead and make it a two-possession game heading into halftime. So they got the ball marked right there at the 50 with 11 seconds to go. So Miller's has had a couple of good rushes on this drive where he wisely got out of bounds to preserve the clock. So now we've got Garnett and Morrell to the left, Anderson and Browder to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. So Miller rolls to his left, and he's going to run out of bounds for just a gain of about 2 yards. 5 seconds to go. So Miller, has will have at least Avon will have at least one more play left after a 2-yard gain by Miller. Didn't get much, but he did stop the clock. And that was the only way he could have stopped it at that point. Since he, did not have, apparently, did not see any way to get a first down there. So now Anderson, Browder, and Garrett lined up to the right, Morrell to the left. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. 5 seconds left. Avon at the Zionsville 48. So Miller takes it. He throws deep down the right side, and it is intercepted. So that brings us to halftime. And with your Avon Orioles on top of the Zionsville Eagles by a score of 14-10 here on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back with a recap and a look ahead to the sectional after these words from our sponsors here on audiosportsonline.com. Once again, your score here, Avon 14, Zionsville 10. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon. That's 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart, and behind sidelines in the red brick building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. That's redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They are conveniently located at 4325, that's 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just 4 stoplights east of 465. Their phone number is 317-243-2372, that's 317-243-2372. And they're open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954 with 8 convenient locations around the greater Indianapolis area, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help its clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. The McNamara Florist Avon store is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon and can be reached at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be a part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart and behind sidelines in the red brick building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. That's redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcasts. Dr. Timothy Greer and Dr. Christopher LaFave have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday with early morning hours available. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouthguards to Avon High School athletes every year for the last 16 years. For more information on how parents can get a mouthguard for their high school athlete or for any dental questions, go to avondentalcenter.com. That's avondentalcenter.com, or call for an appointment at 317-272-8100. That's 317-272-8100. Well, back here at Avon, we're at halftime with your Avon Orioles leading the Zionsville Eagles by a score of 14-10 here in junior varsity football action. It's been a very tight and competitive game throughout. Avon early in the first quarter on their second possession scored a touchdown on a 21-yard pass from Cole Wiseman to Brody Whitesell. And the extra point by number 91, by number 91 of Zionsville was good, making the score 7-0. However, Avon struck back quickly later in the quarter on a 1-yard touchdown rush by Mason Miller on a quarterback sneak. Miller passed to Riley Browder for a successful two-point conversion, giving Avon the lead at 8-7. Then in the second quarter, Jarrett Stevens scored a touchdown on a 1-yard rush, and the two-point conversion attempt failed. Avon was trying to take a two-possession lead. That two-point conversion would have put them up by 9, but as it was, the lead ended up being 14-7. And then Zionsville, on their next possession, came down and cut the lead to 14-10 on a 41-yard field goal by their kicker, number 91. And actually, there's a couple of kids from Zionsville here in the press box. I'm going to ask them if they know the kicker's number, because it is not on the roster, and that is something that's not terribly uncommon. Unfortunately, it's not that uncommon here in high school ball, and especially when in JV, where you have the personnel switching a lot, guys moving up and down from the varsity to junior varsity. So anyway, like I said, Avon. Currently, the varsity team currently has a record of 6-2. Their only losses coming to Ben Davis, the number one team in the state in Class 6A. Very heavy favorites to win the Class 6A state championship this year. Avon also had an upset loss to Fishers a couple of weeks ago to 28-35. But other than that, the Orioles have played extremely well. They've outscored their opponents by an average of 21 points a game this year. Coach Mark Bless certainly, has this program in great shape. And really, the Orioles, especially, I think ever since 2 years ago, after years of being in the top 10, but never getting that breakthrough win, when they got the back-to-back wins over Ben Davis and Cathedral, that really firmly established that Avon is one of the big boys. The only thing left now for the Orioles to do to firmly establish themselves, as a team that everybody's afraid of, is to win a state championship. And obviously, winning a championship is based on so many variables, but certainly Avon has a chance to do it. And as Fisher showed back in 2010, the HCC can do it too. It doesn't have to be the MIC every year. So, but anyway, though, Avon will be playing in the sectional because there are only 32 teams in Class 6A. Everybody will get a first-round bye, so the teams would only have to win 5 rather than 6 games to win a state championship. That the current format began back in 2013 with the move from 5 classes to 6. And anyway, Avon will start off the sectional. And, of course, the Avon, don't forget, they do play here on next Friday night against Noblesville, which will be our senior day. I hope you all will get out here for that one. 6:45 start time with the pregame show here on audiosportsonline.com. Try not to be overconfident, but it should be an easy win. Noblesville is a pretty bad team this year. Their record is 1-7. Their only win coming against Class 3A Hamilton Heights. They have played, a few competitive games. They had a 4-point loss to Westfield, 3-point loss to Hamilton Southeastern. But, overall, they've been, a pretty bad team. And they, especially since the Tippecanoe County teams left, to join the North Central Conference a few years ago. In particular, Noblesville's generally been around the bottom of the conference. So anyway, so we got that game. We got senior day, and then we'll have a week off. And then 2 weeks from Friday, we return to action in the sectional, and we will visit the Southport Cardinals. And meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket in our sectional, our neighbors from up the road, the Brownsburg Bulldogs, will play the Perry Meridian Falcons. So anyway, both Avon and Brownsburg almost certain to get wins. Perry Meridian actually has been a very bad team this year, and in fact, I believe they're still winless unless they managed to pull it off last night. Let me check my scores here. But okay, Perry Meridian. Okay, they finally won last night over Terre Haute North 21-12, but they're 1-7. They've been outscored by nearly 20 points a game, so it should be an easy win for Brownsburg. Southport not quite as easy for Avon, but certainly it's a game that the Orioles should win, and so that would set up a cross-county rivalry matchup for the sectional championship with Brownsburg, in which Avon would be the obvious favorite, having demolished the Bulldogs just a few weeks ago here during the regular season by, I believe the score was 62-28. Southport, by the way, is 5-3, but that they have not really. They don't have a lot of real high quality wins, and they haven't played the level of competition based on their schedule here that has Avon. So it's a game you can be about 95% sure that Avon will win. Of course, I've been wrong before, but it does look pretty promising for us. And then the sectional championship game would be 4 weeks from Friday. That would be on November 3 weeks from Friday. That would be November 3rd. And so that would be let me check to see if they have a list of where that game would be if we were to play Brownsburg for the sectional championship. I'm pulling up the bracket here. I have so many apps open on my phone because there's so many. I have so many high school football pages open that I like to toggle back and forth to. So let's see here. And we are in sectional 7, by the way. Okay, yeah. So we will host the game in the championship game if it's against Brownsburg. That would be on November the 3rd. So now getting ready to start the second half here at. And now it's an onside kick, and the Eagles got it. That was perfect. Oh, my God. They completely caught the Orioles asleep there. That's the second time in as many days I've commentated a perfectly executed onside kick. The other time, Cascade did it last night to Edgewood. The difference is that Edgewood was expecting it, and Zionsville still that Edgewood was expecting it, and Cascade still did it perfectly, and so that the ball just went the exact 10 yards, and slowly enough that the Cascade players were able to get right on top of it and grab the ball as soon as it went 10 yards. This time, however, it was a case of Avon just being caught completely off guard. So that's something that you can be sure that will be addressed in practice over the next 6 days. So now Avon will take the lead with a touchdown here, and we've got the referee blows the whistle here. I think it's for an equipment adjustment. It looks like the player, was trying to maybe adjust his pads there. So first play from scrimmage of the half for the Eagles. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wiseman fakes the handoff, screen pass, caught over on the left side, and he's got something here past the 45. He's going to be maybe a yard short of the first down. I believe that was Kyle Harmon there on the reception. So 9:48 to go here in the third quarter. So now 3 receivers to the right, none to the left. 1 running back for the Eagles, trying to take the lead here. And now rolls to his right. Wiseman trying to find a man, and he throws it deep down the right side, and there could be pass interference there. There wasn't, but, I'm not sure that he had a reasonable chance to catch the ball. But there was clearly some contact there. Nevertheless, bringing up 3rd down and 1. Kyle Harmon, by the way, was the intended receiver for Zionsville. So now the Eagles line up. We've got Brody Whitesell, who scored the touchdown earlier, to the right, along with Kyle Harmon. And then I believe that's Dom Vecchiarella to the left. I'm actually studying Italian on Duolingo right now, so my pronunciation of those names are a little better. But I'll tell you, I'm currently studying every major Western language simultaneously right now, and Italian for me is the hardest. I think it would be very, very hard for me to, reach functionality in that language. But at least I can pronounce the names now, so that's progress. So 9:20 to go here in the third quarter. Avon leading 14-10. However, Zionsville has the ball. I was thinking about Avon scoring a touchdown to start off the second half and take a 2-possession lead, but it was all for naught as Zionsville had that surprise onside kick that was one of the most perfectly executed onside kicks I've ever seen. In fact, I think I could be wrong about this, but in my 6 years of high school football commentary, the last 2 days might be the first 2 successful onside kicks I've ever seen. And since most of the games I've commentated have not been close, there haven't been many onside kicks. So, all right, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Wiseman in shotgun, hands off now, and they're right on top of him, and he's actually brought down maybe for a short loss. That was Ryan Vespa there on the carry. I assume Zionsville will go for it, being in Avon territory with 9:09 to go here in the third quarter, excuse me. So the Eagles looking to the sidelines, maybe for instructions. So now we've got Wiseman lining up in shotgun, Gus Baumgartner, the running back. And then I believe that's Cody Whitesell and Kyle Harmon lined up out to the right along with another receiver. And then now a sweep around the left side there by Wiseman, and I think they got him a yard short of the first down. I'm waiting for the signal, but yeah, he was short, so Avon takes over on downs. So that perfectly executed onside kick does not produce good results for the Eagles. And I will be, hold on, I'm going to go over to the cooler to get a soda here in just a moment, but so now the Orioles with their first possession of the second half. 2 receivers to each side. Jared Stephen, the running back. Mason Miller in shotgun. Hands off to Stephen. He's got a hole up the middle. He's got past the 45, 50, 45, up to about the 44. And, I would like to see how many yards Jarrett Stephen has after contact today. Because, you hit him, and, he very often stays up. So 8:22 to go here in the third quarter. Avon on the move here. Morrell to the left. We've got Browder and Garrett to the left. Morrell to the right. Stephen, the running back, high snap, but Stephen gets the handoff, and he goes forward about 5 or 6 yards, maybe closer to 7 or 8. And, his line did a great job there after he got the ball, just pushing him forward against the Zionsville defenders. So they give him credit for 8 on that one. 2nd and 2 at the 38 with, now at the 36 now, 7:42 to go here. And the third quarter, Avon leading 14-10. They will take a 2-possession lead with a touchdown here. So 2 receivers to each side now. And now a handoff there to Browder, and then he goes up to about the 31, so that will be a first down for the Orioles here with 7:19 to go and counting here in the third quarter. I'll hold that thought. But anyway, so we got Garrett and Lewis lined up to the right, Morrell and Browder to the left, Stephen the running back. And now Stephen gets the handoff, and he gets up the middle for about 5 or 6 yards, so that'll bring up 2nd and 5 or 6. 6:58 to go and counting here in the third quarter with Avon on top of Zionsville 14-10. The Orioles shooting for a 2-possession lead here. But, when I think about onside kicks to start the second half, of course, I think about the Super Bowl that we lost to New Orleans 8 years ago, in which that was a contributing factor. But unfortunately for the Eagles, did not work out for them today. So now, handoff there to Stephen. He's through up the middle, and he could go all the way for the touchdown, and he's inside the 5, brought down at the 3. So Jarrett Stephen giving the fans here in Avon a look at the future of their program. He should be a major star of the varsity team over the next 2 years. But, talking about Steven being a good player to hold that thought. So now Merelda and Browder to the left. And Garrett to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller in shotgun. Hand off to Steven. He plows forward. Did he get in? Yes! Touchdown! Jared Steven takes it in from 3 yards, and there's that 2-possession lead I talked about, coming with 5:59 to go here in the third quarter at Avon. That's Steven's second touchdown of the game, the first one coming from 1 yard out, as did the other touchdown by Avon, the quarterback sneak there by Mason Miller. Avon now with 1 touchdown in each quarter. They've gone for the 2-point conversion both times so far. They just ought to bring up Sam Miller from the freshman team and have her kick the extra points. And maybe they will soon after the kind of game she had against Westfield on Monday, going 5 for 5. So now handoff to Steven, and he takes it in for the successful 2-point conversion as well. So 22-10 now, 22-10 lead for your Avon Orioles over the Zionsville Eagles here on audiosportsonline.com. Well, back here at Avon, we're your Orioles now with a pretty good grip on this one. They lead the visiting Zionsville Eagles 22-10 here in junior varsity football action following that 3-yard touchdown rush by Jarrett Steven, his second touchdown of the game. Mason Miller now to kick off for the Orioles. Back deep to receive for the Eagles. We have Ryan Vespa, and now it's a squib kick, and fielded at about the 31 or 32, brought up to about the 36 there. So that I'm going to just pause and take a chug off of my soda here because I am very, very thirsty. Keep in mind, I commentated a game that went almost 3 hours last night too, so definitely got to keep my throat wet. Man, that's good. So, 1st and 10 now for Zionsville at their own 37. They line up with 2 receivers to each side. Empty backfield. No, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Wiseman takes the snap in shotgun, rolls to his left, and they're all over him. He throws it away and almost got a reception there. The receiver had to run back to try to get it. He was just... It was just a little short, but a nice effort there by Wiseman to avoid the sack because they were all over him. So that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. 5:40 to go here in the third quarter. So now 2 receivers to the right for the Eagles. 1 receiver to the left. Now handoff, and it's fumbled, and I think Zionsville got it back, but no, Avon got it. A Zionsville guy jumped on it, but apparently in the pile it was taken away by an Avon guy. So now the Orioles, if they get a touchdown here, then that'll go a long way toward putting this one away. So Avon will start the drive at the Zionsville 32. Zionsville's had their chances tonight, but they just haven't made the big plays consistently enough, and then obviously that fumble hurts. So Avon's starting to fall apart here in the third quarter, starting with, failing to capitalize after they got that onside kick recovery. It ended up being a 3-and-out, so now Avon with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, fakes the handoff to Stevens. Miller, screen pass. It is complete to Lewis, and he takes it up to about the 25. So that's at least the second pass that Lewis has caught tonight So, not accustomed to seeing Coach Bless take advantage of their tight ends to use them as receivers, but Sean Lewis doing a good job of it so far tonight. And both times he was wide open for the pass. Lewis, good size at 6'3", 195. He's a junior. Certainly, probably be starting for a lot of varsity teams in the state. So now Browder and Garrett to the left, to the right, Morrell to the left. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun, 2nd and 3 for the Orioles. Hand off to Steven. And he's got the first down inside the 20 to about the 19. 4:44 to go here in the third quarter. Avon leading Zionsville 22-10. A touchdown would make it a 3-possession lead for the Orioles. Right now it looks like this is theirs to lose. So now Browder and Garrett to the left, Morrell to the right. Miller in shotgun, Steven, the running back, first down. And now throws into the end zone. Did he make the catch? I think he was out of bounds. I think his knee. I think he made the catch, but his Morrell's knee hit the out of bounds line. Nice effort though. So 2nd and 10 at the 19. Morrell to the left. Garrett and Browder to the right. Miller in shotgun. Takes it. Hands off there to Steven. This time they're ready for him, and they stop him for maybe just a gain of 1. So that'll bring up 3rd and long. And this was a very critical play for the Zionsville defense. Because if they keep the Orioles from getting any points or at least no more than a field goal, then it will still be a 2-possession game and Zionsville will still have a fighting chance. So Zionsville trying to hang on. Avon going in for the kill with now 2 receivers to each side. Hand off to Steven now. He's got a hole this time, and he's going to be up close to the first down. He might have it. Yes, he does have it. Or maybe if he did get, let's see where they mark him. I thought he'd, okay, they're marking him 1 yard short. I thought he got up to the 9, but the referee marked it at the 10. So anyway, it'll be 4th and 1. So now Avon, Steven is a tough running back, but you also have to give a lot of credit for that rush to his line because after Steven got the ball, the line was Avon linemen were pushing against the Zionsville defense and paving the way for Steven to get a lot of yards after contact. So now 4th and 1, hand off to Steven. They're all over him. He plows forward. I think they're going to give him forward progress out to the 9 for the first down, but let's see. And we might have a measurement here. It's 2:40 to go here in the third quarter, and yes, they are measuring it. No. Wow, he looks like literally about 3 inches short. I thought he had it. I thought he had it the time before that, too. So a couple of spots that weren't quite as favorable as I expected. So Zionsville very lucky to get out of that drive after that fumble without giving up any points. So with 2:40 to go here in the third quarter, they still have an outside shot at this one. Their drives today have tended to be either outstanding or bad. There hasn't been much in between. So now Wiseman gets the ball, rolls to his left, and he's brought down for a big sack. So now he's going to be brought down at about the 3 or 4, so the Eagles in trouble now. That was a hit about as vicious as that Oriole they have on the center of the field now. And I went back, and looked at one of my broadcasts from this stadium last year, and that Oriole was not on the field last year, so that's a brand new creation. So 2nd and 15 now for the Eagles, back at their own 4. So now up the middle, and it is intercepted. So badly thrown ball, and it could be returned for the touchdown by Tyler Anderson, and it is. So Zionsville self-destructing here in the third quarter. That was not a well-thrown ball. It was thrown. There was a lot of miscommunication with the intended receiver, and it was thrown right into the arms of Tyler Anderson. So with 1:45 to go here in the third quarter, it looks like this one's going to go to your Orioles. 28-10 with the conversion pending now. Zionsville's had their chances. They've just, shot themselves in the foot too many times tonight. I think Avon's the better team overall. Zionsville would have needed to play, an almost mistake-free game to pull this one out, but they, obviously didn't. So now incomplete on the 2-point conversion attempt, but it doesn't matter much. Avon's been 2 out of 4 on the 2-point conversions tonight. That's the same as being 4 out of 4 on 1-point conversions. So they lead 28-10 here with 1:45 to go here in the third quarter. Well, certainly, if you're an Orioles fan, you got to feel good about the state of the program right now. The varsity team is 6-2, likely head to a sectional championship this year, and meanwhile, the JV team looks like they're going to produce a lot of guys who are going to move up the ladder and give the Orioles fans a lot of things to cheer about for the next many years, and same for the freshman team in the games that I've called this year. A lot of young talent here for the Orioles. So now, kick is fielded at about the 12. Now he runs over to the left side of the field. It's got a hold at the 15-20. Dodges a tackle up to the 25. He knocked out of bounds around the 26. So that was a nice effort there on the return by Kyle Harmon. And he's slow to get up, but he appears to be okay. 1:33 to go here. And clearly feeling the desperation. I mean, he started up to the left and went all the way over to the right looking for room. And he dodged 2 or 3 defenders and ended up getting about a 14-yard return, which is good considering considering the distance he ran to pick up those 14 yards. So now 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Wiseman, screen pass, complete over at the 20, and he's brought down for a loss. So not much going right for Zionsville right now. They trail 28-10 with 1:16 here to go in the third quarter at Avon. That was Ryan Vespa there on the reception. They got him for about a 4-yard loss. So 3 receivers now to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff there by Vespa. This time he's got something, and he's up past the 30, close to the first down marker, knocked out of bounds around the 34. So that'll bring up 3rd and short as the clock stops with 54 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Avon leading 28-10. The last home JV game of the season. They marked him at the 33, so that will bring up. That'll bring up 3rd and 3 now. Eagles with 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back. Wiseman in shotgun. Takes it, drops back. Screen pass and it is dropped. So that'll bring up 4th and about 3. The receiver that was Harmon, and right after his hands touched the ball, he was hit very hard, and he just didn't get the grip on it. But it looks like the Eagles are going to go for it. Why not at this point? Three receivers to the right, one to the left. And now throws down and it's almost intercepted there. There is a flag, could be pass interference. It appeared to me there was some contact on the far side of the field. So let's see what the call is here. Could be pass interference against Avon, but waiting for the signal. It is going to be a penalty against Avon. I guess if it's 15 yards, I guess it was pass interference. I didn't see the call, but nevertheless, it does keep the Zionsville drive going. They're now at their own 49, 2 receivers to each side, 1 running back. Wiseman in shotgun. Takes the ball, rolls to his left under pressure, and now he gets rid of it. And it's an incomplete pass. And now we've got a late flag, possibly intentional grounding, but let's see. 26 seconds to go here in the third quarter. The flag was after the play was over, so, yeah, intentional grounding, that's what I thought. Yeah, he did not, I guess, get it close enough to a receiver. 11:30 your time of day now here in Avon. So that'll bring up about 2nd and 16 now for the Eagles. The Eagles' only lead was 7-0. So now Wiseman dodges a sack. It's fumbled! And I think Avon has it. Waiting for the signal. No, Zionsville did recover, but now it's going to be about almost 3rd and 30. And that's the end of the third quarter. So your Avon Orioles on their way to a victory in their final JV game of the season. 28-10 over Zionsville here on audiosportsonline.com. It's really been a game in which Avon has just Avon's been the better team, clearly, but besides that, Zionsville just has not. At a lot of key moments in the game, Zionsville just did not execute very well, and they've had Zionsville quarterback. They've had Zionsville quarterback Cole Wiseman really running like a maniac, just trying to avoid the sack, and he hasn't been sacked very often tonight, but he has thrown a lot on the run. So 10 minutes away from the Eagles to close out the home portion of their JV schedule this year. Of course, they do have a home varsity regular season game then, and likely they'll have a home playoff game or two. So still a lot of football action to be played here in this community in 2017. So now we've got 3rd and 28 for the Eagles to start off the fourth quarter here. Two receivers to each side now. One running back. Wiseman throws up the middle. He's got a man this time. It's caught for a gain of about, that's Vecchiarella. He got about 14, but he's going to be far short of the first down, bringing up fourth and about 15 or 16 here. 9:45 to go in the game. And it looks like the Eagles are going to punt now. They went for it on fourth down earlier on this possession, but in punt mode now. Of course, it could be a fake. $9:25 to go here in the game. Avon apparently going to get a comfortable win. And now it's a bad snap, and it nearly blocked. And that's caught at about the 23, right up to the 25, 30. So Avon takes over at about the 32 with 9:02 to go here in the game. It's been a game, a very solid A, at worst A- performance by your Orioles today. They have not made many mistakes at all, especially not serious mistakes. So now Lewis and Morrell lined up to the left, Browder and I believe that's Anderson to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. The snap. Now handoff to Anderson, and they're on top of him, and he's brought down for a loss. He stayed up for about 4 or 5 seconds after contact, but he just had nowhere to run. Nice effort by Anderson, but they got him down for a loss of about 3 there. 8:42 to go here in the quarter. So now Garrett and Browder out to the left. Morrell to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun. Hand off to Steven, and he gets about 6 or 7, so that'll bring up about 3rd and 7 for the Orioles. 8:14 to go. They're on top 28-10. Looks like they're going to cruise comfortably to victory here. It's 14-10 at the half before Zionsville self-destructed with a lost fumble and then an interception that was returned for a touchdown. So 7:46 to go now. 3rd and 8. Browder and Garrett to the left. Morrell and Lewis to the right. Steven, the running back. Miller takes the snap, drops it back, throws up the middle, and it is caught there by Lewis. And he's got the first down and more inside Zionsville territory at about the 46, 7:25 to go. So Sean Lewis, the tight end, used very effectively in this game as a receiver. I haven't seen a lot of passes caught by tight ends in my 6 years of commentary. So now, Morrell and Browder to the right, Garrett to the left. High snap, handoff to Steven, and he's up for about 6 or 7 more, a little past the 40. 7 minutes to go and counting here. Zionsville leading, Avon leading Zionsville 28-10 here on audiosportsonline.com. Well, I'm going to miss all these Monday morning and all these Saturday morning and Monday evening broadcasts. But we still got a few weeks of varsity action left. Hopefully more than a few. Hopefully several. Taking us all the way to Thanksgiving weekend at Lucas Oil Stadium. But we'll see. So now Steven gets another 5 or 6, and he's got the first down with 6:25 to go. I checked the schedule, and I'll tell you, if we win the sectional, which is likely, that'll put us in the final 8, and that we would have a good chance to win the regional as well. The big problem would be the semi-state, where we would almost certainly run into Ben Davis, who beat us 52-20. So it looks like the Giants are going to be a brick wall this year, but, You never know for sure, which is why you play the game, of course. So now Lewis, Browder, and Garrett to the left, Morrell to the right. Steven, the running back, Miller in shotgun, 6:02 to go. Avon on top, 28-10. Steven gets the ball. He's got a hole up the middle, and he could go all the way. And yes, he is. Jarrett Stevens, his third touchdown of the game. This one from 33 yards. Outstanding team effort by the Orioles today. So the Avon now, the offense has scored one touchdown in each quarter. This one coming with 5:51 to go in the game. A 33-yard touchdown run by Jarrett Steven. What a bright future that young man has. So now two receivers to each side. The Orioles are going for the two, which they've done on all of their touchdowns today. And fakes the handoff there. And Miller takes it in all the way himself. So it's 36-10. So Avon 3 for 5 here in the game on 2-point conversions. And they lead by a score of 36-10. And because that conversion was good, that means that Avon now has a 4-possession lead. Had he missed the 2-point conversion, then Zionsville, granted unlikely, but nevertheless could have tied with 3 touchdowns and 3 successful 2-point conversions. So, it's interesting comparing the JV to the freshmen as far as their conversion philosophy. Avon scoring 5 touchdowns today. They went for nothing but 2-point conversions. However, on last Monday against Westfield right here at Avon, the Orioles scored 5 touchdowns in that game, but they went for nothing but 1-point conversions, and they were all made there by Sam Miller, who and now the ball falls off the tee. But yeah, I know that there have been other girls who have played high school football here in Indiana, primarily kickers, but I believe that Miller was the first one that I've ever commentated. And now it's the kickoff fielded about the 29, and it's brought up to about the 35 there. I believe that was Baumgartner on the return. 5:46 to go here in the game. Zionsville trying to get something going here. Second half has been a semi-disaster for the Eagles, after they overall played pretty well in the first half, staying competitive. So 2 receivers to each side now. And now passed on the right side, but it's overthrown there. The intended receiver was Whitesell, who scored the only Zionsville touchdown, which seems like a long time ago. It was way back early in the first quarter. 11:41 your time of day now. Two receivers to each side now. Wiseman in shotgun. Takes the snap. And he throws up the middle. He's got a man. And he breaks the tackle past the 45-40. He could go a long way, 30-25. So that's that pass there to Whitesell. Covers about 40 yards. It puts Zionsville, that's by far Zionsville's most productive play here in the second half. Whitesell was wide open, and then, he broke a couple of tackles after that. So 3 receivers to the left now, 1 to the right, 1 running back. Handoff there, and they grab him instantly, but he does nevertheless push his way forward for maybe a yard or 2. Showing a lot of resilience there. That was Sidney Bailey there for Zionsville. He's 5'10", 160, sophomore. So 2 receivers to each side now. Now fakes the handoff. Wiseman rolls to his right, looking for something. He's got some running room past the 20, 15, 10, to the 5, and he's out of bounds around the 5. So Zionsville trying to get at least one more score here. I'll tell you, in the first half, their drives were either, extremely effective or, very, very ineffective. I mean, they seemed to either go to one extreme or the other. They would either have a great scoring drive or just a 3 and out. And now they're, passing to the end zone off the left hand there of, there's actually two number 80. Okay, well, that was John Heath for the Eagles. So that'll bring up a 2nd and goal at the 4. But, yeah, it seemed like in the first half the Eagles either went 3 and out or they would have a great scoring drive. And now this is the first time that their offense has gotten on track in the entire second half. So now 2 receivers to each side. Bailey, the running back. Wiseman takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's going to take it all the way in for the touchdown on the rush. So 4:33 to go, and the Eagles finally get their first score of the second half. A 4-yard touchdown rush by quarterback Cole Wiseman. And now let's see. First they got a conversion. Number 91 there, the kicker. Kicked a 41-yard field goal earlier, so showing a lot of promise. High snap, but they get the ball down. The kick is up, and it is good. So 36-16 your score, or 36-17, excuse me. And now let's see if the Eagles will go for an onside kick here. They had an awesome one that unfortunately for them they failed to capitalize on to start off the second half here. Well, I really admire the fans who endure, these Saturday morning games where that they're all in the direct sunlight. I don't see anybody in the shade. I mean, even the fans here who are in the front row of the press box, they don't even have any shade from the press box to hide under. So 4:30 to go here in the game. Avon leading Zionsville 36-17. It's 76 degrees now. It's not terribly hot, but just that, all the fans are in the direct sunlight. So definitely a game where you can still get a sunburn, even though it is October the 7th here. So now, onside kick, and it's a live ball, and Zionsville's got it. Wow. So Zionsville's actually recovered 2 onside kicks now. Not likely to come back and win this game, but, still provokes some excitement from their side of the field. So Zionsville, with all 3 timeouts left, they could stretch this game out quite a long time. 11:46 your time of day now. So now the Eagles line up 2 receivers to each side, 1 running back, Wiseman in shotgun. And he looks over to his right, and it's incomplete. The closest receiver there was Whitesell, but it wasn't close to him. So the clock stops now, 2nd and 10, 4:18 to go here in the game. Avon leading Zionsville 36-17 here on audiosportsonline.com. High snap, but he gets it down. He's got a man open on the right side, just a little bit overthrown. The intended receiver was Evan Price, who is a junior. Boy, if that pass had been on target, Price might have had something there. 3rd and 10 now. So after the onside kick, Zionsville's had 2 incomplete passes. On their first onside kick recovery to start it off the second half, they went 3 and out, trying to avoid a similar fate here. So now Wiseman throws downfield on the right side, And it's overthrown again. No flag. I didn't expect there to be one. But there was, I think, a little contact with an Avon defender, but it was, I believe, only incidental. So 4:03 to go. Zionsville in danger of failing to produce a first down after two successful onside kicks. Two receivers to each side. And now Wiseman throws downfield. He's got it. He's got the first down inside the 30. So a good fourth down conversion there by Whitesell. They is down at about the 27. So Zionsville still with a chance to, cut further into the lead. Once again, two receivers to each side. Wiseman. And he's being swarmed, but he's got a hole now, though. Takes up to the 25, 20, and, breaks a tackle, takes it down, drags the defender down to the 17 with him. And I believe that I think he's going to be a yard short of the first down. The clock running at 3:24, and now a whistle here. Okay, now we're back in motion here. So three receivers to the left, one to the right. Bailey, the running back. Now Wiseman throws over, and he's got a completion there, and Whitesell's got the touchdown. Nice slant pattern by Whitesell. He made the catch and dragged a defender with him into the end zone. So Zionsville, it's oblique, but they're not quite out of it yet. 36-23 with 3:06 to go, and the conversion pending. Two touchdowns now 84 seconds apart for the Eagles. Second touchdown of the day between Wiseman and Whitesell. Going for the two. And now, and he's got it. That's good. So Wiseman strikes to Price for the 2-point conversion. And your score now, all of a sudden, a not-so-bad sounding 36-25. 2-point conversion past Wiseman and Evan Price. And one thing to think about now, if Zionsville still has all three timeouts left, if they get the ball back, now they don't need two touchdowns. They just need a touchdown with a 2-point conversion and a field goal. So the Eagles, I give them a lot of credit. I mean, the second half was, largely a disaster for about the first quarter and a half. But now they're, really making a game out of it here in the end. They're probably not going to win, but it's a great comeback effort. I commentated one last night as well out at Cascade in Clayton, just a few miles west of here, where Cascade trailed Edgewood on their homecoming night, on Cascade's homecoming night, 40-21. Scored two late touchdowns and then got the ball back, with a chance to win it there at the end, but threw an interception in the final seconds. So now are we going to have a third successful onside kick of the day? Avon looks ready. Yes, we do. And it's a huge bounce. But Avon, I believe, did get it. Wow. It bounced off the hands of an Avon player, so, that's very dangerous, but Avon did pick up this one. So now the Eagles are going to have to make a stop here at worst. They're going to have to do at the very least a 3-and-out, if not a turnover, but we will see. So now what Avon just needs to do is just, milk the clock. 3:04 to go. And now we've got out wide receiver into the game. Lined up to the left, we have Andrew Ohab. It's, I think, the first time he's been in there today. And we have a lot of different personnel now. And we had a new running back in there as well. Who was that? That was Amos Inidian which I believe is his first rush of the game. They got about 2. So far, Zionsville not using their timeouts. So it looks like Avon's using their entire second unit here. We've got Jarabek lined up to the left along with Darius Clay. Another receiver to the right. And now, handoff there. And now he's got a first down, though. He's got some room on the right side of the field down the 40, 35, 30, 25, and knocked out of bounds around the 20. So that goes a long way toward putting this one in the bag for Avon. A 3 and out, and Zionsville would have had a fighting chance, but now Avon, has the ball in fact, at the Zionsville 21. And, we very well might see the Eagles start to use their timeouts now. So good job by the second unit of Avon, putting together a huge play there. So 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And now, handoff there, I believe this time for no gain, maybe a 1-yard loss, and I think Avon has just taken its first timeout. The clock stops with 2:05 to go. Avon leading 36-25. It's a game that just a few minutes ago looked like it was going to be a smooth sailing the rest of the way for the Orioles, but the Eagles came back with 2 quick touchdowns to make a game of it. And amazingly, they nearly got their third successful onside kick of the game. But nevertheless, 2 out of 3 isn't bad, so certainly recovering onside kicks, something for the Eagles to work on and for the Orioles to work on in practice. I just realized, the irony of these 2 teams both having, birds as mascots. Because my favorite example, is when Logansport plays Frankfurt every year, the berries versus the hot dogs. I call it the battle of the food. So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for the Orioles. Now, quarterback keeper, he's got some room over on the right side. He's up to about the 15. That's Zach Thompson in there at quarterback, by the way. He's a 5'9", 135 sophomore. And I believe Zionsville has just taken its second timeout. The clock stops with 1:55 to go. So that'll be about, they're marking it 3rd and 3 for the Orioles. Zionsville trying to make a stop here and get the ball back. They need 2 scores, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, plus a field goal. An Avon score here would basically clinch it. It's good to see some of these other guys, getting some action, though. And obviously, doing a good job, moving the ball downfield, even if they don't produce any points, at least they, went a long way toward putting a dent in Zionsville's chances of the comeback. Now, and they're right on top of him. That was Amos and Idian again. And now Zionsville takes their last timeout with 1:48 to go. And I think they got him for a little bit of a loss there. Since Avon has gone since they've attempted a 2-point conversion on every touchdown today, I assume they're going to go for it here. This would be a 36-yard field goal attempt. I don't think they have a kicker who has that kind of range. Mason Miller, the starting quarterback, has been doing their kickoffs today. 1:48 to go now. 4th and 4. Zionsville has used all of their timeouts on this drive. 2 receivers to each side. Zach Thompson is the quarterback. Now they have another running back. Oh, Jarrett Stephen is back in there at running back. Okay. Now they give it to Stephen, but they're right on top of him, and they stop him from the first down, and so Zionsville still has one more chance. They swarmed him. At least 3 guys were right on top of him. So Avon takes over at about the, let's see where they're going to mark it. At the 17. No timeouts. They need 2 scores. Doesn't matter what order they come in. 2 receivers to each side now. Wiseman. And he's sacked for around the 5. Huge play for the Avon defense. Julian Skinner for Avon with the sack, and he did like a mini sack dance, I guess, trying not to get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. But yeah, you could see the excitement as he really put another big dent into Zionsville's comeback chances. So now 1:16 to go. The Eagles have to hurry. And now Wiseman dodges a sack, and he's got a man wide open downfield, and he makes the catch. And did he get out of bounds? That's the big question. I believe he did at about the just shy of the 30, just shy of the 40, excuse me. So they mark him down at the 38. He had him and dodged the sack and had a man wide open. So now 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Wiseman drops it back. He throws deep. And it is just overthrown. So 50 seconds to go now. Zionsville has to hurry. And I'll tell you, if they get within the 25 or so, it might be a good idea just to go ahead and kick the field goal. So if they, to make it a 1-possession game, and then that way they, if they do get the ball back, they'll have, time to have at least a few shots to make the touchdown. Because if they just hold out for the touchdown, that could very well consume all or at least most of the rest of the clock. 50 seconds to go now. They have the ball at their own 38, trailing by 11. 2 receivers to each side now. Wiseman. Now he rolls over to his right, to his left, and he runs out of bounds for a gain of just about 2, but he does stop the clock. So they lose 7 seconds on that play. Could have been a lot worse. So 3rd down and 8 for the Eagles. Three receivers now to the right, 1 to the left. 1 running back. Wiseman. And he's under pressure, and he's almost sacked. He breaks away from it. And he gets rid of it. He's got a man open again, and he makes the catch and gets out of bounds around the 35. Wow. That was Kyle Harmon. So Cole Wiseman, doing a great job scrambling and getting rid of the ball. So Avon, they're down, but they're not quite out yet. Zionsville, excuse me. And now Wiseman throws up the middle, and it is incomplete. It's way over the head of Whitesell, so 23 seconds left. Now probably, Zionsville's best chance here is to do about a 15-yard gain here, do a quick spike and kick the field goal, and then do an onside kick. And that way, so you might have 1 or 2 chances to throw it into the end zone. That's about their best chance here, because if they go, if they hold out just for the touchdown, then, it very well might be too late for them to get that second score. So now Wiseman rolls to his left. He throws, and it's just too short. So 15 seconds left. So Zionsville, looks like Zionsville's chances are about out here. They have no margin for error, that's for sure. So now we got Whitesell and Harmon lined up to the left, 2 other receivers to the right, 1 running back. Wiseman rolls to his right, and he's brought down for a sack, and that'll do it. So 6 seconds left, and that's going to be it. So your Avon Orioles pull away for most of the second half. Then Zionsville gets back and makes it interesting, but it's not enough as your Orioles hang on for a 36-25 win here in junior varsity football action on audiosportsonline.com. We'll be back with a recap after these final words from our sponsors. Reynolds Body Shop is a proud sponsor of Avon football broadcasts. They're conveniently located at 4325, that's 4325 West Washington Street in Indianapolis, just four stoplights east of 465. Their phone is 317-243-2372, that's 317-243-2372, and are open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Reynolds has been family-owned and operated for 30 years, specializing in collision repair. Reynolds Body Shop is also an insurance work specialist. Learn more about them on the web at reynoldsbodyshop.com. That's reynoldsbodyshop.com. McNamara Florist has been Indy's hometown florist since 1954 with 8 convenient locations around the greater Indianapolis area, including the Avon store on Rockville Road. McNamara Florist is famous for its unique floral designs for all occasions that help the clients express their emotions through flowers and floral giftware. Visit McNamara Florist for outstanding personal service and floral design, or to select from the renowned home decor merchandise, including stunning Christmas classics. The McNamara Florist Avon store is located at the McNamara Florist Avon store is located at 9655 East Highway 36 in Avon, and can be reached at 317-579-7900. That's 317-579-7900. Avon has a rich wrestling tradition. Red Cobra Wrestling is proud to be part of that. Red Cobra Wrestling offers training sessions run by nationally known coach Chad Red. Red Cobra Wrestling is located at 9233, that's 9233 East Highway 36 in Avon, across the street from Walmart, and behind sidelines in the Red Brick Building. Red Cobra Wrestling offers sessions for all ages, including 3rd grade and under and 4th grade and up. Learn more about prices, class schedules, and information at redcobrawrestlingacademy.com. Avon Dental Center is a proud sponsor of Avon High School sports broadcasts. Dr. Timothy Greer, DDS, and Dr. Christopher LaFave have served Hendricks County families for over 20 years. Located in Avon's Beechwood Center, just east of Ivy Tech, they're open Monday through Friday with early morning hours available. Avon Dental Center offers high-tech dentistry that includes dental implants, orthodontics, and one-appointment crowns. At Avon Dental Center, their priority is to deliver quality care to informed patients in a comfortable and convenient setting. You can get more information at avondentalcenter.com or call for an appointment at 317-272-8100. That's 317-272-8100. Avon Dental Center has made and donated custom mouth guards to Avon High School athletes every year for the last 16 years. Parents can contact our office if interested in one for their high school athletes. The athletes love them. Well, back here at Avon for a final time today, where your Avon Orioles have just pulled out a victory here in a very exciting game in the last junior varsity home game of the season. It was a wild and woolly game in which Avon generally pulled away for most of the game before Zionsville made it interesting with a late charge. Early in the first quarter, Avon opened the scoring on a 20-yard touchdown pass from Cole Wiseman to Brody Whitesell. The extra point by number 91, who was not listed in the roster, was good, making the score 7-0. Avon struck back later in the quarter on a 1-yard touchdown rush by Mason Miller, the quarterback, on a quarterback sneak. He passed to Riley Browder for a successful 2-point conversion, giving Avon the lead for good, 8-6. Then Avon padded the lead in the second quarter on a 1-yard touchdown rush by Jarrett Stephen. The 2-point conversion failed, making the score 14-7. And then later in the quarter, Zionsville cut the lead to 14-10 on a 41-yard field goal by number 91. Then Avon opened the second half with a successful onside kick. However, then turned the ball over. Well, they punted after a 3-and-out. And then with 5:59 to go in the third quarter, Jarrett Stephen gave Avon their first 2-possession lead of the game on a 3-yard touchdown rush. Three-yard touchdown rush. Stephen himself successfully rushed for the 2-point conversion, making the lead 22-10. And then Zionsville, and then Tyler Anderson scored a touchdown on an interception return with 1:45 to go in the quarter, and the 2-point conversion attempt failed, making the lead 28-10. Then finally, with 5:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Jarrett Stevens scored his third touchdown of the game, this one from 33 yards. And then Mason Miller took the two-point conversion himself on a rush, making the lead a seemingly insurmountable 36-10. However, Zionsville struck back quickly on a 4-yard touchdown rush by Wiseman. The extra point by number 91 made the score 36-17, and then after another successful onside kick, Wiseman threw 17 yards to Whitesell, and this time Wiseman threw to Evan Price for a successful two-point conversion, bringing the score to 36-25. Then on the ensuing kickoff, and Zionsville nearly pulled off a third consecutive successful onside kick. However, Avon recovered, and despite their second unit being in the game, they drove the ball about 50 yards downfield in a drive that produced no points, but took a lot of time off the clock and gave Zionsville a long way to go, and then the game ended on Zionsville's ensuing drive. So overall, it was, I'd say, an A- performance by the Orioles. They need to be ready for the onside kicks, but other than that, they didn't, do much wrong. They executed very well. They had good play calling. They generally played very strong as a unit. Jarrett Stevens obviously is the go-to guy for this JV team, and whenever he got the ball, he had his guys there to push him along. So, as good as Stephen is, he's the success that he is because he has a lot of great teammates. And like with all the varsity, with all the JV and freshman games that I've commentated, about 7 or 8 this year, there's nothing you can say other than that Avon appears to have a very bright future for the long term of their football program, and there's no reason to believe that they're not going to be a top 10 team for a long time. So anyway, looking ahead, this concludes the junior varsity and freshman portion of our broadcast this year for AudioSportsOnline.com, but we will be bringing you all the rest of the varsity games as long as Avon lasts, which hopefully will be all the way to the state championship game the Saturday after Thanksgiving at world-famous Lucas Oil Stadium. Certainly, I don't think we'll have, I think we'll have at least 3 tournament games, hopefully more, but we'll see. Next Friday night, we'll have the regular season finale. It will be Senior Day here at Avon. I hope you all will get out here to support this outstanding senior class, and for what should be a very easy victory over the Noblesville Millers, and then they'll have a week off and then return for the playoffs 2 weeks from Friday out at Southport. We'll be bringing you that one as well. And in the likely event that we win that one, we will probably be playing at home against Brownsburg the week after that for the sectional championship, and hopefully, advance, beyond that. So anyway, this concludes our broadcast. As always, thank you so much for joining us here, and I cordially invite you to do so again next Friday at 6:45 right here again on AudioSportsOnline.com as your Avon Orioles challenge the Noblesville Millers. Until we meet again for AudioSportsOnline.com, this is Lec Zorn saying, make the difference that only you can.